It's a huge honor and privilege to have Mr. Karan Johar with us here in Chicago, and I must tell you that he's been the surprise package of a Dream Team concert tour, and he's entertaining like anything. It's a huge pleasure to have you on Baradanga first.
Yeah, thanks, Faridun. Thanks for tracking our show.
And so, frankly speaking, what you managed to do, especially in Houston, was something outstanding. You know, the spontaneity which you bring in terms of, as I mentioned at the press conference, that roasted naughtiness. How does it flow, sir? How does it literally flow?
The idea is to have a great time, right? You know what happens is when you have a live audience that is this large, I think there is something that you just organically do that comes without any preparation. Like for me, I mean, when I am faced with a wide audience, it's like you kill your own kind of self-consciousness, your inner kind of insecurities of like performing in front of so many people, and the performer in you has to kind of spring out. Now, I'm not an organic dancer or performer, but I do know what it is like to kind of be on stage with thousands of people, you know, and I think that that's the one part of your personality that has to just come out, the fun part, the entertainer in you, you know, which is what everyone's there for entertainment and only entertainment. And I think that's what happens to me on stage. Like I tend to blank out like the fact that I'm a filmmaker, prolific perhaps to some, and that I'm supposed to behave in a certain manner, because actually you're there to entertain. So you can't take yourself so seriously. You have to kind of drop your guard and just make sure you do just that, entertain.
And so I really hope that in Chicago you have that same energy that you had in Houston, which was outstanding. Irreverent. You should just go all out.
You know, sometimes you have to be a little careful because you have family audiences. Chicago also, I believe, is a full family. As long as that the rest of the centers also, I just went in terms of energy and keeping. I didn't want to kind of, you know, push the envelope beyond a certain point.
Okay, and so even in terms of as a dancer, the way you just pull up the entire act, that's like a surprise package for many as well. People have known you that you're the host of Jhalak Dikhla Ja, but this is like an NRI audience which is not which is familiar with Jhalak Dikhla Ja, but maybe not that as much the way Indian population is. Do you find what sort of responses have you got as far as for your dancing?
Look, I'm always embarrassed when I dance, but I don't bother about that because I think, you know, when you're Punjabi, it comes with the territory. You should dance like no one's watching, and if you're dancing and people don't mind you dancing, watching you dance, and the fact that, you know, they've endured me several times on Jhalak Dikhla Ja, that means that perhaps that they don't mind that, you know, he's crazy, he likes to dance. Let him go out there and dance. And we are here for part of a tour that actually is all about singing and dancing. Then you have to kind of go, you know, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. You go with the flow. So my introduction was, of course, you know, was first designed as me just as a walk-in and say hello and speak on the mic, and everybody felt that there should be at least 2 minutes of song and dance. So I said, okay, go with the territory. So when you do it with conviction. You don't bother. Some might think it's weird for a filmmaker at his stage of his career to kind of be dancing on stage. But then to many others, I'm saying if no one's done it before, I'm glad I'm the first.
No, absolutely. So you've had this entire, you know, in a way, many would say that you are the one who started this entire NRI, you know, filmmaking in a way, and you had that entire non-resident Indian audience in mind while making your films, and they have done extremely well. Be it any and every film, be it the film that you produce or the one that you directed. As someone who understands cinema and the trends very well, how do you observe this entire young crowd, that youngsters that you have with you? I say Katrina as well, because I think this is totally a new version of Katrina Kaif. The way they have taken over in terms of the way.
I think it's phenomenal that all of them are like about 4 years like old in the business. You know, most of them are that 4 or 5 years, and I just feel that the equity that they've built in the last 5 years, largely because of the films they've done, the songs and music they've had, but just the incredible confidence in which they're carrying themselves. They were packing halls. You've seen it yourself, Faridun. Thousands of people are coming to see these young kids. I mean, it's amazing, and I think it's like a great decision for us to have actually been part of the Dream Team, because I think it builds your equity with the third generation youngster here. You know, they connect. Like I see the audience is full of young kids, you know, that have known, say, most of them from, say, Student of the Year and the other films that, say, Paraniti and Aditya have done, Badshah Songs, Katrina's Magic. All of them actually have been like, you can tell that there is an equity, and thank God for this show, because now we know that they do have a large audience. And we were very clear that the idea to do this show was to build that equity and work on it and enhance it, so that, you know, eventually when, you know, I know, like for a fact, that Shah Rukh's travels across the world when he performed really built his equity as a huge movie star. You know, when he used to travel all over the world and connect to millions of people, that's what really also contributed to his global appeal. And in a very tiny way, the endeavor is to do exactly that with the younger generation of today, be it with Varun Siddharth, Alia, Aditya, Pariniti, Katrina, Badshah's young music. The idea is for me and the team at Dream Team, all holistically and together, to contribute to building the equity for this generation. So that 4 years later, when we come back, perhaps I hope I'm part to see it, is when I come back, I want to see them as even huger movie stars with this global audience.
Yesterday, when the press conference was taking place, someone in fact asked you about the entire thing, and you said that ki izzat afzai ke liye bahut shukriya, the way the entire audience has been. You also the sort of love and respect that you've got from Indians, like say non NRIs for example. Does it overwhelm you at times? You're an emotional guy.
It's what do I say, Faridun? It's always humbling. I mean, it's humbling that you've built, like, I have to say, the moment when I'm standing behind, ready to make my entry, and the roar that comes at the Alap music of the Dharma Productions logo, I don't think I get gooseflesh every time. I'm getting it right now when I'm telling you. Like, I think that logo, the brand that my father built, the equity that we have tried to, I would say, create for the company, and the impact that it has with several Asians, the diaspora across the universe and world. I mean, it's just beyond my humility, and my gratitude is beyond words. What I feel and what I have in me, I think no interview, no words, no thoughts could really basically explain my level of emotion, and most importantly my level of gratitude to people who have loved my movies. Every time I keep saying that, should we reinvent the wheel, should we change the logo, should we drop the Alap, and I have younger filmmakers say, please don't do it, just keep it. And yes, the Alap is slightly, to some would be old school, you know, when it, you know, it's like, it's probably not with the syntax of today's cinema, but there is a certain emotionality and a history attached to that emotion. And I think every younger filmmaker, the ones who even make the younger, like say Shakun Batra, who did Kapoor and Sons, he was like, dude, don't take away that Alap from me, because to me it resonates the cinema I grew up watching. And I think to me that is what to answer your question, there's a huge level of emotion that I actually feel when I stand on the stage and see thousands of people roar at a name that they have created. I mean, today, like, I'm just a product of their love. I mean, what else is me or the Dharma Productions, or for that matter any of the films any filmmaker makes, is the product that we exist because of the love of millions of people that actually go beyond our country. And I said it actually Houston, I said, you know, the kind of love that comes from across the borders of our country is that much more heartening, because they give that much more love because they're detached from their roots. And I think that's why that love comes in emotional abundance.
Pariniti and Alia sang Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and you were there on stage. Was it an emotional moment for you?
I mean, they sprung a surprise on me, because they told me we're going to do something, but we won't tell you what. So when they did it, I was like, oh shit, they sang Tum Paas Aaye. Yeah, it was, I mean, these kids, you know, Alia was probably 2 or 3 when Kuch Kuch Hota Hai released. And she's played on with my father like a child. My father has held her in her arms. So it's kind of strange that I've launched her many years later. I've seen Alia as a kid, like literally as a naughty, scraggy haired, naughty little kid, like my father gave chocolate to every time he saw her. And to think that I would launch that girl 10, 12 years later is really ironic, and beautifully ironic. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is emotional for me when these kids connect to my cinema and actually resonate it on stage. It's a beautiful feeling. Today, with the fact that we end the show on Shaba Shaba, it's a hugely emotional and enriching experience for me. The fact that I walk in and almost father the finale, it's kind of gorgeous. I mean, to me, it's beautiful.
Now Alia is having, this year is phenomenal. Like, she had like a Kapoor and Sons, then they're like a Udta Punjab, and now Dear
nothing yet. You have to see her in Dear Zindagi. I mean, I'm blown by that girl's level of performance, and I don't want to say too much on Dear Zindagi because it's still a while away. And I think Gauri Shinde rightfully should be the voice of that film. But all I can tell you is just watch out for something special and spectacular.
So, in fact, what I personally noticed was that generally what happens that when there are any tour is taking place, people tend to repeat almost the same thing again and again. But here I'm seeing that somewhere these boys and girls, they want to also bring in something new each time. Like I was seeing Siddharth, I was talking to Siddharth, and he was saying that we're doing Shake It Like Shammi this time around. So somewhere, and like say Katrina's first Houston, when these 3 boys come and they're just shooting, so she says that I'll settle for you, and then in the next one she says that she just takes all the 3 boys together.
We're changing it around, yeah.
That entire surprise value is somewhere there. Do you feel that it's important for
because it's in concept is important, Faridun, to respect each city that you visit, and it's not a template. It's not something, it's a set routine we must keep repeating. that means you're not that passionate. You're not that you don't want to warm the cockles of the hearts of the existing audience in front of you. You want to respect that, the fact that perhaps they've seen that stuff online already. They've seen uploaded videos, so you want to change it around. Give them something new. So Chicago has a different experience from Los Angeles. Los Angeles a different experience from New Jersey, New York, and I think that's the endeavor, to change it around. To make sure that even when I don't go with the script ever, when I go on stage, I feed off what's happening in front of me, and I know we have a time constraint that we need to do that much, but within that, one tries to always kind of shake things up.
In fact, New Jersey, I think, is already sold out. That's what they're saying, that it's going to be like one hell of a...
I hear, in fact, we got some great news that, that all these shows, Chicago, Los Angeles, and finally New Jersey, are going to be humongous in terms of capacity, in terms of like just sheer numbers, and that's just outstanding, because think of it, these kids have 4 years, as I said, into the business, and in 4 years to build packed houses across the world, amazing.
Sir, tremendous excitement for the first look of Ae Dil Hai Mushkil.
Right.
I keep on getting all these messages that when is it going to be coming, and please give us some news. Could you please share something about Ae Dil Hai Mushkil?
Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, of course, is my next directorial film, and I think nothing is more exciting at Dharma Productions right now than the entire release of Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, which is a Diwali release this year. We are also excited, and we had a certain kind of a beat, a certain kind of a timeline, and a certain strategy in place that will reveal itself as it reveals itself. So yes, we haven't released any image, any behind the scenes, nothing as yet, because I believe very strongly that when we come, we would like to stay one after the other in terms of properties, in terms of units, and I felt to come out too early is difficult then to sustain the energy of I believe, any feature film. So we're very excited to release the first glimpse, and then the second, and then the third. The film is very high on music. It has a lot of music. I believe very strongly that the music is the most integral soul, is the most, I would say, the most important contributing factor to the soul of the film. And I believe that the music will breathe long and will have the longevity. I have a lot of belief in the music, so I can't wait for everyone to listen to the title song and then the subsequent music after that. And of course, all I can say is that towards the end of the month, you will see Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. Nobody knows anything about it. We've kept it very quiet as of now. Yes, towards the end of the month, we've kept it very quiet for a reason. Because I believe very strongly that once we're out there, we will be out there.
Ranbir was outstanding in Tamasha. I think it is one of his finest performances. What something about Ranbir Kapoor?
One of the best actor experiences I've had has been working with Ranbir Kapoor. He blew my mind. About 20 times, literally, I used to stare at the monitor and say, wow. Like, he's an unpredictable and completely unusual performing artist. He never, ever does something that you expect. He goes beyond your expectation every scene. His emotional understanding, his emotional energy that he brings to a film is just beyond words. I've had some working experience with great movie actors in the industry, and I have to say I have to add very strongly and proudly Ranbir Kapoor to that list of amazing actors I worked with. Working with Anushka, working with Aishwarya, has been just the most incredible experience. And I have to say, I was most excited even working with Fawad, who has a very special role. It's a special appearance. He was brilliant, and he has a special appearance in Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. But it's a very strong role, a very pivotal role, and actually his energy is very indispensable to the film. I'm so glad he agreed very graciously to be a part of the film. In fact, it was wonderful of him to say yes, because it was a special appearance. But truly, when I say you have to take the essence of the word. It was special, that appearance. It's very important for his character to connect or to be a part of the journey of this film, for you to kind of understand the emotional existence of the film. So it's been wonderful, I think. And to answer your question, not just Ranbir was fantastic, and I've said, exactly how proud I was to direct him and how proud I was to have him as part of this film. But Anushka Sharma, Aishwarya Rai, who I've been dying to work with for the beginning of my career, I think all of them, I've had the best time. It was a 75-day shoot, and I feel every day of those 75 days, I used to be excited to go back the next day. It was really enriching.
Last couple of questions. Kana Chashma, Siddharth has told me that it's crossed, I think, 5 crores now.
50 million. Just yesterday, it crossed 50 million.
Yeah, so something about Bar they got excited about?
I can't wait, because when I read that, it was given to me, Excel Entertainment sent me the script. It was a page turner. I mean, it truly was a page turner. It's the only love story I've read in the last decade which actually makes you wonder right through. There's intrigue. I'm not saying there's mystery. There's intrigue. There's you're wondering where the film is going, and where it finally lands, you're satiated like never before. It was a truly. I've never read a love story that had the beats of an emotional thriller. Like, you know, so that's what I think Bar Bar Dekho is. And all I have to say is that if you want to know what the future of your relationship is, which most of us should know because there's a lot of insecurity with every relationship, then Bar Bar Dekho is the film to watch because it gives you those answers.
Tiger Shroff in Student of the Year. That film was very, very special for you because you had these three youngsters you've given to the industry. Tiger Shroff, amazing, I think, performer. The way he does. Excited about...
Very excited. And in fact,
that you're not directing it?
Because I think that now, I think someone much younger should take over the franchise, and Puneet is the right fit. He's a young director, he's today's energy, and I feel I did. At age 40, I wanted to make my youngest film. I did. Student of the Year was released when the year I turned 40. And after that, I was like, I have to let this franchise go into the hands of the younger. Puneet, it's in very able, strong, and efficient hands with Puneet Malhotra. And when I read the script, I said, there's no one better than Tiger Shroff for this. All the prerequisites that Tiger Shroff is known for and platformed on a supreme level is what Student of the Year 2 is all about. He's the brand fit for it perfectly, and we can't wait to actually start the filming. Really excited, and watch out now, we're going to find some girl energy, which I'm not being very specific about. You'll watch out, but let me tell you, the girl or the girls, we don't know, of Student of the Year are going to be interesting and very, very exciting choices.
More heroes apart from Tiger as well?
No, Tiger's the only man in the film.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for... Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir.